It's official. After years of debate, backdoor politics, and public battles, Formula One has finally given the green light for an 11th team to join the grid in 2026. But if you've been following this saga, you know it's not that simple. You've heard the name Andretti rejected, and now you're hearing Cadillac and General Motors are in. What happened? How did this deal get turned on its head? Today, we're breaking down the entire dramatic story of how Andretti's dream fell apart, only to be reborn through a clever corporate power play. Stick around because this is the real story of F1's newest team. To understand what's happening now, we have to rewind to late 2023. Michael Andretti, son of racing legend Mario Andretti, goes all in on bringing his powerhouse brand Andretti Global to the Formula One grid. He puts together a massive budget and even brings on a huge American partner, Cadillac. On paper, it looked like a slam dunk. The bid gets the initial thumbs up from the FIA. But in F1, that's only half the battle. The final decision rested with the FOM, Formula One management, the commercial rights holders. While waiting for the verdict, Michael Andretti didn't just sit on his hands. He went on the offensive. He started hiring top-tier engineers, building a state-of-the-art factory in Silverstone, and even secured an engine deal with Renault. The project was real, and it was moving at full speed. And then, in January 2024, after months of deliberation, the hammer dropped. The FOM officially rejected Andretti's entry. So what went wrong? The FOM laid out three core reasons. First, the money. Bringing in an 11th team means slicing the prize money pie into 11 pieces instead of 10. The existing teams hated this idea as it directly diluted their earnings. Second, the FOM wasn't convinced the project was viable. They worried that Cadillac was just a badge-slapping exercise, a big name used to get through the door without real deep involvement from the manufacturer. Formula One today wants fully committed works teams, not just well-funded privateers. And the third reason was personal. Reports suggest that Liberty Media CEO Greg Maffei had a serious issue with Michael Andretti himself, fearing his reputation and past business dealings could tarnish the premium image of Formula One. With the project dead in the water, it looked like the dream was over. This is where the story takes a fascinating turn. Faced with total rejection, Michael Andretti made a strategic retreat, stepping down from his role as CEO of Andretti Global. And stepping into that power vacuum, General Motors. The American auto giant, which owns Cadillac, decided to take matters into its own hands. They bypassed Andretti and went straight to Formula One with a new proposal. A few days ago, the announcement came. GM and F1 had an agreement in principle, and in that official announcement, the name Andretti was nowhere to be found. So was Andretti completely kicked to the curb? Not exactly. This is where some brilliant corporate maneuvering comes into play. When Michael Andretti stepped down, a businessman named Dan Towers took over as CEO of Andretti Global. Towers owns a portfolio of companies, including a management firm called TWG Global. One of his first moves was to bring Andretti Global under the umbrella of TWG Global. Now, if you read the fine print of the official Formula One press release, you'll see that TWG Global is listed as a major partner in the new General Motors deal. That's the link. That's how Andretti stays in the game. Publicly, the team will be Cadillac. They will call the shots. But operationally, they will be using Andretti's brand new factory, its 200+ employees, and its entire logistical framework. The power dynamic has been completely flipped. Instead of Andretti using Cadillac's name to get in, Cadillac is now using Andretti's infrastructure to hit the ground running. The only public mention of the Andretti name we might see is Mario Andretti, who is rumored to be taking on a non-executive advisor role, much like the legendary Niki Lauda did with Mercedes. So what does this new team look like? First, the engine. GM's ultimate goal is to build its own Cadillac Power unit for 2028. But for its first 2 years, it needs a supplier. The original plan was Renault, but since Renault is exiting as an engine supplier, that's off the table. Negotiations are reportedly underway for Cadillac to acquire Renault's engine intellectual property to get a head start. In the meantime, they need an engine for 2026. Ferrari is one possibility, but the most likely candidate is Honda. According to F1 regulations, the engine manufacturer with the fewest customer teams, which will be Honda supplying only Aston Martin in 2026, is obligated to provide an engine to a new entry if asked. Next, the car itself. The timeline is incredibly tight, but Cadillac has one massive advantage. While the current 10 teams are banned from starting their 2026 car development until January 1st, 2025, Cadillac, as a new entity, is not bound by these restrictions. They have no limits on wind tunnel hours and no budget cap constraints on their initial development. It's a huge head start, though arguably balanced by the massive challenge of building a team from scratch. 2 new seats on the grid means the driver market just got a lot more interesting. It's almost a guarantee that one seat will go to an American driver. The top candidates are IndyCar star Colton Herta or F2 driver Jack Crawford, both of whom already have ties to the Andretti ecosystem. For the second seat, expect an experienced veteran who can lead development. Think of names like Sergio Perez, Valtteri Bottas, or maybe even a wildcard return for someone like Daniel Ricciardo. Personally, I'm thrilled to see an 11th team. It means more cars, more action, and more opportunities for drivers. But I have to admit, I have one huge fear. I don't want to rain on the parade, but I'm old enough to remember the 2010 era with teams like HRT and Virgin who were consistently 5 or 6 seconds off the pace. It was painful to watch. My biggest concern is that this project ends up like Haas F1, a team that never really managed to break out of the midfield. We need this new team to come in with the resources and expertise to compete, not just participate. But what do you think? Are you excited for Cadillac's arrival in 2026? Who do you want to see driving for them? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of Formula One.